Despite Disney, Marvel, and the mainstream media doing everything in their combined powers to desperately try to convince people that the Marvels wasn't a catastrophic disaster, here we are several months after the fact, and now it is undeniable that not only was this thing a colossal failure at the box office, but it was also a movie that, quite frankly, people were not interested in. But it was only a month ago that still some people in the mainstream were trying to convince you to go out and watch this, that it's going to have a big comeback. It's not as bad as everybody tried to say it was. Watch The Marvels on Disney Plus today, the movie that deserved better. Now, this is from Paul Tassi over at Fours, and this is in the middle of a tweet storm on X, on Twitter, where people were trying to say, wow, look at everyone coming around and saying it's so good. Now everyone's watching it on Disney Plus. It's going to be a massive success. I talked about this a month ago when it happened. Well, this says 3 weeks ago. What exactly was the date on this video? February 10th, just after The Marvels came to streaming. And you had a slew of people trying to convince everyone it was going to be a massive hit now that it was on streaming. Well, tweets and likes and interactions, whether real or fake, that's one thing. Mainstream media people desperately trying to convince people to watch something on a streaming service, that's one thing. But when it comes to actual results, well, very unexpectedly, we now know that The Marvels has set yet another record for the MCU, and of course, again, it's one of failure. Now, this is coming from Variety. Nielsen streaming top 10. True Detective jumps to 5th place after Night Country episode 5. We talk about the Nielsen ratings a lot. Those usually come out about a month after the fact. That's how long it takes to collect and process the data. That's when they come out with this report, a month after we actually see these things on streaming. Well, if we go to the Nielsen charts, you can see that the week of February 5th through the 11th, the week that The Marvels came to streaming, the week that everyone was trying to convince you that a lot of people were watching this, man, that's weird. When you look in the top 10, The Marvels, nowhere to be found. Now, it is the top streaming movie of that week with 558 million minutes watched. Not that much higher than something like the Super Mario Brothers movie, which has been streaming for 9 months at this point and still had over half of what The Marvels got. But unfortunately, when you compare it to any other Marvel release, and again, there was nothing big that was released this week. That's probably the only reason why The Marvels ends up the top streaming movie. And there wasn't a lot of competition in streaming in general that week. But when you actually look at some of the comparisons, it is laughable how badly The Marvels has failed once again. Now it's known, tag me in this, even adjusting for runtimes, The Marvels had the lowest Disney Plus debut of any MCU movie. Let's just take a look through some of the ones we've seen in recent memory. Last year, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania debuted, 766 million minutes watched. What about Thor: Love and Thunder? That disaster. 1,500 million minutes watched, 1,500. And Black Panther: Wakanda Forever had a massive debut, 2,200 million minutes watched. But then here's The Marvels, the movie that you had a bunch of people on social media trying to convince you that everyone was going to, everyone was flocking to, everyone was going to watch this movie when it drops on Disney Plus. Not the case. 558, barely ahead of American Assassin, not even twice the numbers that the Super Mario Brothers movie has. Just a random day, a random week, I should say, just a random week, a year after its actual release, and the Super Mario Brothers movie is still doing those types of numbers. It's yet another embarrassing failure, not only for the people in the media that are still trying to prop this up, and the social media activists that are desperately trying to convince people that it's not as bad as you thought. Even Brie Larson knows, right? We talked about this. Brie Larson is known for a long time. She wants to get out of the MCU. She made those comments not that long ago. No interest in talking about her future as Captain Marvel, and who would? After everything that we've seen happen in the rejection of the character, all the problems going on at Disney, everybody should be fleeing that sinking ship at this point. But there can be no doubt it's failed every step of the way. And now, once again, another catastrophic failure on their hands. The worst Disney Plus debut for any MCU movie that we've seen. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.